morning, everyone. Welcome to the session on network security fundamentals. Today, we'll cover the essential aspects of network security, which include the following topics that are network protocols, types of networks, network devices, common network attacks, security measures, tools for network security, and also we'll be discussing the best practices that you as an individual or even as an organization can implement so that you can mitigate the risks of network attacks on your organization or your individual computer or individual assets. Now let's begin by understanding the different network protocols. There is one suite under which the multiple protocols operate in, and let's discuss the network protocols, what these network protocols are. These are rules that govern data communication over networks. Let me say it again. What are network protocols? These are rules that govern data communication over networks. And the most common protocol suite is TCP/IP suite, which includes the following, that is HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and the S means that it has a security layer embedded, and this protocol is mainly used for web traffic. The second protocol we have is the File Transfer Protocol, short for FTP, and this is mainly used for file transfer purposes between one system to the next or between one server to the other server as well. The next one we have is the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, the SMTP, which is used, as its name suggests, it is used for email communications. And understanding how data is transmitted over these protocols is really crucial for network security, because for example, if you are hired as a digital forensic expert by any organization or your own company to see or to analyze the recent incident that took place on the network, by, like, for example, the incident can be anything. An unauthorized third party has gained access to your entire network, and you as a digital forensics expert have been hired to analyze the entire traffic or analyze where the attack originated from. So for that purposes, it is really crucial for you to understand how these different protocols communicate with each other and how data gets transmitted between each other protocol, or how data is differentiated between each and every protocol. Moving on to the types of networks we have. The types of network that are there are local area networks, for example, that are typically used within a single location, and there is wide area network that span larger geographical areas, and we also have virtual private networks that provide secure connection over public networks. And what VPNs do basically is that, for example, I am accessing a website over the public network, and once I enable the VPN on my system, like it can be on my mobile phone or it can be on my laptop, as soon as I enable that VPN system or VPN that I've downloaded, it will create a tunnel between me and the server and the endpoint, so that they can securely communicate without anyone having to without anyone looking at the communication. Like, this can prevent or mitigate the risk of man in the middle attacks. And each type has specific uses and security implications. Moving on to network devices. Network devices like routers, switches, and firewalls play a really critical role in managing and securing the data flow. Routers direct traffic between networks, whereas switches connect devices within a network. And what firewalls do is that they control the incoming and outgoing traffic from your system and from the server on which you, like, it can be on the server, for example, if it's in an organization, it can be hardware or it can be software firewall as well. And firewalls basically work on a rule. There is a rule list where you specify which files or which websites are whitelisted to access and which websites are blacklisted, so that firewalls can understand and block that website according to the list that you have mentioned. And intrusion detection systems and intrusion prevention systems are used to monitor and respond to network threats. Now let's understand the common network attacks that we have listed over here. Understanding common network attacks is key to defending against them. Let's start with the distributed denial of service attack, which overwhelms a network with traffic. And the man in the middle attack, what it does is that it intercepts communication. For example, if you and any other person, like it can be Alice or Bob, you're communicating with either one of them, and a man in the middle attack, as I as a hacker or the what in terms of this is called the man in the middle, has intercepted the communication, and I am able to gain access to all the communication that is going on between you and Alice, or between you and Bob. And if it's unencrypted, which means there aren't any cryptographic hashes that has encrypted the communication, then it's a golden opportunity for me as a man in the middle to gain access to confidential data and break its integrity and availability as well. And these attacks, for example, let's discuss the DNS spoofing as well. This redirects traffic to malicious sites. Now let me give you an example over here of DNS spoofing. What it means is that, for example, if you are accessing a website today, and as soon as you have given the address on the URL bar, you have gone to the correct website, you know that how the website looks like. But the next day when you're trying to access the same website, you are being redirected to other websites or any other website that is malicious, and you know what these things are. Like, for example, the website that I was accessing yesterday was the one that I wanted, but now what I'm accessing is not the one that looked like before. So obviously it's a malicious website and a trap from the hacker or from the unauthorized third party to gain your credentials or gain your confidential information by, like, what most people do is that when they are not educated or well aware about these threats of cybersecurity or the network attacks, they provide their data on the input fields that are shown on the website, which can be really threatening for the person or for the individual providing the data, because it can break the confidentiality, integrity and availability of the data, and the hacker can gain overall access on their systems. Now, these attacks can have serious consequences, including data breaches and service disruptions as well. Let's move on to the security measures that include firewalls, network segmentation, VPNs, which are virtual private networks. And to protect against network threats, several security measures can be implemented. Firewalls, as I previously mentioned, act as barriers between the trusted and untrusted networks. Network segmentations divide a network into smaller, more secure sections. And for example, for network segmentations, you can use switches. Now, switches connect multiple nodes to one network, and what switches do is that they have an extra security layer. For example, if I am getting a message from one node to me, and that node is saying that no other nodes can access this information, then what switches does is that it segments the communication so that the other node and the endpoint, can only see the communication, and no other nodes or no other third party access can see that information or communication by any means of man in the middle attacks or anything, but unless and until the hacker is smart enough and is using the sophisticated kinds of exploit or payloads to intercept the communication. And VPNs ensure secure communication over public networks. This is also what I previously mentioned, is that virtual private networks, what it does is that it creates a tunnel between the endpoint and the server so that they can communicate securely without the fear of getting the information leaked to any unauthorized third party. Let's move on to network security, the tools for network security that can be used, and these tools can aid in fortifying your digital landscapes on networks. And Wireshark, for example, is used for network traffic analysis, and Nmap is a powerful network scanning tool. And we'll be looking at demonstrations of these tools to understand their functionality and how they can be used to identify and mitigate security issues. Now, in the demonstrations, I'm going to be showing you how what these tools look like. For example, what Wireshark looks like, and their different display filters for different network protocol analysis, and for network mapper, that is Nmap, I'm going to show you some syntaxes of scanning of how these both of these tools work and how they can be beneficial for you. Now, moving on to the best practices for security. Implementing best practices is essential for maintaining network security. Regular updates and patch management help fix vulnerabilities. Strong password policies prevent unauthorized access, and user training and awareness, which from my perspective is one of the most important one, ensures that everyone understands and follows the security protocols. For example, what happens in most small businesses is that people use the same password over a long period of time. or they don't change their password at all. But an organization with good strong password policies, what they do is that they keep their password policy strong. For example, having multiple characters, multiple numbers and multiple letters, combination of them makes a strong password. And what they also have is that they need the employees need to change their password every 1 month or every 2 months. What it does is that it will be difficult for a hacker to gain access, because he knows that these password gets changed every over a period of 1 month, or over a period of whatever the organization has assigned to for the employees. And this makes the task for the hacker a complex one. In conclusion, we have covered the fundamentals of network security, including network protocols, network types, their devices, common attacks of networks, security measures, tools, and the best practices you as an individual or as an organization can implement. Network security is a critical aspect of protecting information and ensuring the smooth operation of any organization. So this is it for today's video. Make sure to drop a like, comment if you have any questions, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated on cybersecurity news and free trainings on cybersecurity. Thank you very much for joining.